I'm bad, sir. You over there tripping? I'll step on the look. I can go ready, boy. Pack your bag, shorty. Get out the road. Less quantities I consume. I'm drinking, and a nigga just trying to smoke. I'm getting so mad, I'm about to choke. But no, I don't abuse chicks. Even that one I love chick. You fucking ass tripping. Understand loose lips, sink shit, bitch. Look, I'm trying to fucking talk to you. Understand what we gotta fucking do. Boo, you over here tripping, lady. You been out here tripping lately. All I wanna do is just love on you. Lay you down, rub on you. Yeah. But you be acting crazy. I'm doing everything, you out here fucking lazy. I don't understand, I'm a fucking man. I be making motherfucking stacking grand, yeah. Then you be tripping low. I know one thing you can't tell, I give you 50 feet. I know lost to the latitude. Yeah.
What's good? It's your boy OMD-300, and this is the Corner Store Podcast. And what you just heard right there is a single from my new EP. Yes, your boy did an EP. My EP is 4 songs deep, and it is fire. That song right there is called 50 Feet. And you can get that, you can hear or buy, you can even buy it on Apple Music for $5.99. I made it a pretty cool price point. You're only getting 4 songs. So, you know, I'm not trying to price gouge nobody. For $6, you can get 4 of my new joints, real fire songs, actually. I'm very proud of what I did and are doing musically. I will be doing another record. So I just wanted to let everybody hear that. That is the debut of one of the songs on my EP. It is called OG Vibes. I don't know why I fucking I got a little confused right there for some reason. But anyway, the album's called OG Vibes, and I am obviously OMD Dex300, the dude that performed, wrote songs and everything. Shout out to T-John Annex, one of the hottest engineers in Los Angeles. Shout out to Red Room Studios, Hawthorne, California. The sounds that come out of that place and some of the artists that have come out of there have been extraordinary. But T-John Annex is one of the best engineers, producers as well as an artist. He has his own music in the city. And I just couldn't be more happy and pleased to have had him be involved in taking this music to the next level, because it came out amazing, and I couldn't be prouder. So I had to debut that single. It's out now, came out last Friday, and so far I've been getting a pretty good response. Let me just put it to you this way. I'm 56 years old. I love hip hop. Tried, my hand at hip hop back in the day. My son is a hip hop artist, KG Hustle. Shout out KG Hustle, Compton, California. Shout out to him. Shout out to Junior, rapper out of Compton as well. 2 magnificent. Well, obviously one of them is my kid, but the other gentleman who's like my son is a friend of his, and they're both extraordinarily gifted artists. I ain't saying that for no nepotistic reasons, no nepotism involved. If they sucked, believe me, I wouldn't be giving them as much props musically as they deserve. And yeah, I got my new glasses too, so I'm gonna throw those on because I can see even better. And I see we got one person on the live. Shout out to whoever that is on the live. Shout out to my significant other. I started dating someone. Shout out to Sonia. I won't even say her last name, but shout out to Sonia. She's a very amazing woman that's come into my life. It's very, very rare, especially in these days and times, that you can meet somebody that's not only compatible to you, but attractive to you, spiritual, really wanting to do some amazing things in life. So I couldn't be more proud to have met someone that I'm seeing right now. It's a real blessing. So shout out to her and all the things she's doing to help me to succeed in my media ventures, as well as in all my other things. She's a very motivating person, and I couldn't ask for a better friend and partner at this particular time in my life. So with that said, welcome again to Corner Store Podcast. It is Monday, and I believe it's August 15th. No, it's August something, goddammit. I know it's August. 2023. As long as you know the month and the year, you ain't necessarily got to know the day. I know it's 11 a.m. in the morning on a Monday. And it's a lot of crazy things going on in the world. So much so that let's get started on the first topic. ToryLanez, hip hop rapper, hip hop artist, ToryLanez, who is a Canadian citizen, by the way, for those who didn't know, just got sentenced the other day in an LA court. He got sentenced to 10 years for the unfortunate shooting of Megan Thee Stallion and her foot during a verbal altercation between him and Megan Thee Stallion. There was a lot of people that were involved in that situation. There were a couple of people who were in the vehicle. I think it was another young lady and maybe somebody else, but I'm not sure. I don't know all the details. But the only reason I'm delving into the facts of the case is to simply say that I believe ToryLanez has been railroaded into a situation where he's fucked up. Now, first off, they're probably going to deport him. Let's just be honest about that. And one thing about Canada is they're very serious about law and order. I would even say much more serious about it than the US, because they're very strict at their borders. If you are a US citizen and you're trying to get into Canada and you have a felony, you will not be able to enter that. But that's most countries, depending on, how they think about things and about the security of their country. Most countries are like that. Most countries are going to be like, nah, we ain't going to let you in. They tried to deny Snoop entrance into the country, and a surprising person came to his behalf. One of the shockingest things I've ever heard, that the Queen of England at the time, who just passed away, by the way, last year or year before last, came to his behest to tell the British government to let him into the country, which I thought was amazing. Snoop was trying to make some money. He was supposed to be doing some performances in the UK, and for some reason they just were trying to bar him because he had been on trial for murder that particular year, or maybe the previous years, and they just felt like he wasn't going to be welcome in the UK. So with that said, I'm like, damn, man. Damn, it takes the queen of a whole country in order to get you in. I guess it's kind of the same way with any other, Justin Trudeau is the president or the prime minister of Canada, which is considered the same relevancy as the president, Joe Biden, the same, they're in the same office. So he would be somebody that would come to bat for you if you wanted to get in the country, if you were an artist or something like that. But typically regular people like, you, me, or somebody else, they're not going to get in the country if they have anything going on criminally. They're just not. So ToryLanez getting 10 years. And that's another thing. Don't do shit in California. Don't come here and do no fucking crimes. Actually, don't go to the South and do any crimes, for that matter. Don't do it. Because if you do, you're going to suffer some of the most dire consequences that you could ever imagine. Especially if you got the pigmentation that we do, meaning if you are a black person, you putting yourself in a situation where you are not going to get out of jail no time soon. You just not. You're going to be in a situation where you got to be in there so long that you got to get with your affiliated race group and make the best of it. Because that's one thing about prison. Prison is really how I should say people really would like the world to be. And the only reason why I say that is because as soon as you go to jail, everybody go to their prospective corners. If you Asian, you hang with the Asians or the essays. If you Hispanic, you definitely hang with the Hispanics. If you white, you better go with the whites. If you black, you better go with the black. I hate to say that that's how it is in jail, but that's how it is. Now, the only thing that'll make your time even smoother there is either you're a shot caller or you're in a prospective group that really respects each other, meaning like the Asians, they don't be preying on each other too tough like a lot of other races do in prison. I hate to admit this, but my people be doing each other dirty in jail unless you got some type of respect. It's about alpha maleism in there and other things. Now, truth be told, you can be tough as fuck and then probably beat 3-4 niggas up in there. But if motherfuckers want to kill you in jail, all they gonna do is 30 niggas on you. You probably gonna, somebody gonna get hurt. If you're that tough of a fighter, somebody is gonna get hurt. I don't care if 10 niggas jump you gonna hurt 1 or 2 of them. But ultimately, the numbers is just going to multiply and you just going to get your ass stabbed up and killed. So, you got to admit that it's important to keep your ass out of jail, even if you think you're tough enough to be able to handle it in there. It don't make no sense. Going to jail is bullshit. So for ToryLanez to be sentenced to 10 years, his family is distraught. Them people was not happy about that. And I wouldn't be happy neither, man. Because that whole situation seems like a bunch of bullshit to me. I'm going to just keep it real with you. It seemed like a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like, to me, that Megan the Stallion, and if you're a brother, you know how sisters are. You see how motherfuckers is. You see what the white girl did to Jonathan Majors, lying on him, talking about what he did and all this other bullshit. Jonathan Majors didn't do nothing to that white girl he was dating. He didn't deserve to get canceled and damn near lose. He pretty much damn near lost all of his acting jobs. You know what I'm saying? Over an accusation. So you see if a motherfucker, Megan did get shot. There's no doubt about that. There's people that's probably going to try to air me out about the fact that I'm on the side of ToryLanez. I just know, and you also just know, how shit go down in these situations when niggas be drunk with a girl like Megan. Megan ain't no saint. She'll tell you that shit herself. She not. Hell, Cardi B is very similar to Megan, very talented girls and all that, but Cardi B used to be a stripper, and she told stories of where they used to roofie niggas and take their bread. Am I indicting Megan the Stallion because of that? No, I'm indicting her because I know the circumstances of that situation ain't what they appear. And this man should be in prison for that. If anything, he should be on some strict ass probation, or, I don't believe he should be getting no jail time at all. That's just my fucking opinion. I know it's a crazy situation. I know a gun actually got fired. See, that's the thing. It's a black dude, a gun, and a female. Today, the times we live in, consist of you losing everything if you go against a woman today. And I don't have a problem with women's safety, all that, but you women can't keep putting yourself in situations to where you can fall back on I'm a woman shit. But you tough as nails, shaking your butt out there and be ready to fight and all this other bullshit. But as soon as something really happens, something go down, and even if the gun, I don't believe the man just took the gun and shot you in your foot because you wouldn't give him no pussy. That's some bullshit. Tory ain't got the fucking, what? Let me put it this way. If I'm ToryLanez, this is me, and I know he probably think younger and differenter than I even do. If I'm him, I'm looking at her, and if I even tried to mac her or get at her or what have you, and she wasn't feeling it, I'm cool with that. I'm Tory fucking Lane. I don't need you. I can find a chick work at Eckert's Drugs or fucking Walgreens or something, bad as hell. You'd be shocked. Some of the chicks you walk into, like, oh my God, she fine. Should be out there getting money, doing something, performing, acting, something, doing makeup, something. But instead, she work at Walgreens. I don't need no Megan Thee Stallion. I'd rather have somebody a 10 or a 20 that nobody fucking knows about. That's what I'd rather have. So I know for a fact, even if he was thirsty and wanted to get some in the hole, that man wouldn't risk his goddamn freedom shooting this bitch in the foot in order to bone her. It's bullshit. The whole thing is weird. Just like the OJ trial. Yeah, I think OJ has something to do with it, but I don't think that old rickety ass fucking man, even back then, killed 2 people in Brentwood, left a big ass blood stain right in front of the place, and nobody ain't hear nothing. Now I can see maybe him showing up with 2, 3 other motherfuckers, and they grab them white people behind their face and grab their mouths and cover them, and 3 or 4 people just start jugging the shit out of them, and then they laid there dead in a puddle of blood. Now that I can believe. I ain't never said OJ didn't do it. I just said he didn't do it alone. That's all I'm saying. It just, the physics don't match up the way they presented that case. That's why the nigga walked. Facts. We got to examine things for what they are. Things ain't bullshit. Things are not bullshit. Everything is right in front of your face. When it comes to any subject out there, the answers are right in front of your face. But people want to make up their own narratives. They do it in the fucking criminal justice system all the time. When the facts are sitting right there, but they make up their own narrative, and that narrative be absolutely fucking wrong, and sometimes criminals get away. Sometimes criminals don't get away, even if the fucking prosecution was inept as hell. It's just people want to put people away because of what they look like. That's not justice. It should be about the facts. And that's the reason why OJ got off. The system worked even though this nigga was guilty. Y'all presented a fucked up case. You did. That evidence was goofy as hell. The niggas you had on the prosecution. Shout out Christopher. Even though I'm shouting you out, I know you were inept in that. Christopher Darden and Marshall Clark. Y'all niggas didn't get at them. You let Johnny Cochran and that whole superstar team do a bunch of rhymes on y'all niggas, and y'all lost. If you don't fit it, must have quit. And all that shit. Them niggas doing all kind of crazy shit on y'all. And that's how he got off, because that evidence was fucking bullshit. But ToryLanez, you don't deserve to be in there no 10 years. I hope they deport you back to the crib and you have a soft landing and a cool little penal colony, man. And so you can get out. Maybe they even got a studio in there and make some beats or something, at least, or something. Because I think that's fucked up. You ended up having to, get sentenced for some shit that girl over there laughing about. She in Houston or wherever the fuck she stay, laughing. Motherfucker. Told you not to fuck with me. This woman is wild. Anyway, Godspeed to you, my bro. And some other news, tragically, but I don't know if it was tragic. I don't know if it was a tragic death or not, but Timbaland, former rapper, and one of his friends, I'm pretty sure Timbaland and him were quite close. Magoo. I don't know if you guys remember Magoo and the Timbaland and Missy Elliott and all those heyday when he was really popping. He's still kind of popping. He's probably making beats that we don't know about. But in his heyday, Magoo, one of his sidekicks, a rapper named Magoo. And let me tell you something about that name, Magoo. When I saw this guy for the first time, and I learned that was his name, I totally understood that shit. I did. I understood everything about why they called him Magoo. He had a Magoo looking ass face. Now, if you don't know who that is, Mr. Magoo. It's a cartoon about an old man who's very nearsighted, always about to fucking walk off a cliff or a building or some crazy shit he can't see. He trying to drive everything. If you go and look at that cartoon, like Google Mr. Magoo, and then look at the actual rapper Magoo who passed away, now you understand why they gave him that nickname, because he kind of favors him a little bit. It's funny how that man's face was. He wasn't ugly or nothing. He just had a Magoo looking ass face. Godspeed to you, Magoo, man. For the little time you was here, you entertained us with Tim and you did your thing, and you should be celebrated because you're a part of the maturation of hip hop and its 50-year anniversary, which is this year, man. Shout out to you, my nigga. Godspeed. I hope the pearly gates open wide for you, and you live in eternity in his light. Shout out to you, man. Rest in peace. The next thing we want to talk about is the Maui fires aftermath. For those who may have been living under a rock for the last month or so, the island of Maui, one of the 9 islands in the Hawaiian island chain, had the most catastrophic wildfires in the history of anywhere. Especially Hawaii. I don't believe there's ever been anything like this that has happened to the Hawaiian Islands other than the Pearl Harbor attack. And the only reason I mention that is because it was such a devastating loss of life, even though it was some civilian casualties in that attack. But the military casualties was just insurmountable. Half of the Pacific Fleet was sunk. And for those who don't know, those monuments are those sunken ships that still line that bay, have corpses in them. And they left those bodies in there on purpose as a sign of this country being attacked the way it was. And plus, from what I understand, I'm sure they could probably get those bodies out if they wanted to, especially today with the technology that we have. But then again, that damn submersible that sunk by the Titanic, it took them forever just to find that shit. So I don't know. And I'm not laughing at any loss of life. I don't want nobody to think I'm some kind of, sick motherfucker that be laughing at shit that's terrible, but I'm not. What I am is a realist, and sometimes I laugh at things that it don't make no sense. I wouldn't go 26,000 feet in a fucking submarine with a PlayStation joystick to go see a sunken ocean liner from back in the 1920s and 30s. I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. It don't make no fucking sense to do that. I don't care how amazing it would be and all that awestruck. You're fucking nuts if you're down there in that fucking water. You're insane. You're insane. And I'll say it again. You're insane if you surf in shark-infested waters. For all those people who sit there and go, oh, well, I love the adventure of what you've jumped in the water with great whites and their mouth is gaping with big razor sharp teeth, and then you go right back in that shit. It's the epitome of the definition of stupidity to me, or mental health issues, because you're doing something over and over again, and eventually one of them sharks is gonna bite the shit out of you. The girl, the blonde young lady, she real slim surfer girl who lost her leg out there surfing to a shark, bit that motherfucker off. She still goes out there. Now, they'll say this bullshit of, oh, well, you shouldn't fear and you shouldn't do this. And if something like that happens, you're supposed to face it. Man, shut the fuck up. I'm not getting in no water. Somebody just died recently from a bear attack. These people keep going to the mountains. I'm not saying don't go to the mountains. Look, if you have me go anywhere in the wilderness, I'm going strapped to the nines. Technology out the yin yang. Rechargeable this and that. From rechargeable flashlights to rechargeable compasses, rechargeable cells, batteries, guns, firecrackers. Let me tell you something about firecrackers. If you go camping and you take you a shitload of firecrackers, obviously, using firecrackers to scare off an animal or something like that probably will work, but it may start a forest fire. So you got to be ready for that too. Maybe have you I don't know. It'd be hard to keep carrying a fucking extinguisher with you and you run up on a bear. If a bear is charging you a big 1,300,000 pounds, it ain't 13,000, but 2-3 tons of Kodiak bear or brown bear charging your ass, and you get a chance to get those firecrackers off, it's gonna fucking scare the shit out of the thing. It'll scare a regular person. So it'll scare a bear no matter how big they are. But you may cause a forest fire. But I need you to be out there with a 9mm, 350 Sev, 30-06, every kind of weapon with stopping power. Because we're talking about a big ass fur ball and nothing but energy. Joe Rogan said this best. Shout out to Joe Rogan and Joe Rogan podcast. Joe Rogan said, why would you go in the fucking woods and camp in a plastic fucking tent when there are fucking 2-ton or 3,000-pound wild dogs? Because that's basically what a bear is. It's an omnivore too, meaning that it only eats plants, but it does eat meat. And let me tell you something about that. Very significance of that is Bears don't normally, when they catch live prey, they eat the motherfucker live. Predators that eat meat strictly only, they know how to kill the animal. They will basically be merciful and bite the thing's jugular, hold on to it, suffocate it so it'll die, and then they'll devour it. Bears don't do that. Bears are assholes. They just eat whatever they can, whenever they can. So if they feel like they can catch you, they're going to stomp on you, put their paw on your back or your neck or whatever, or grab your leg and start to eat that while you're screaming in terror. This is the most morbid thing ever. But see, you fucking people keep going out to the woods. Hell, if you hiking up in fucking Runyon Canyon, you could get fucked up by a coyote or a couple of them or a cougar. Them motherfuckers right there. Rattlesnakes out the yin yang. But we keep going to the wilderness because we're not afraid. We dominate this planet. What we need to understand is we might dominate technology-wise. We might even be shrewd enough to make traps and all these different things. But these creatures work on instinct. And they're making a comeback more and more. The thing of it is, extinction is a huge problem. Because once animals get thick again, we start to kill them. And then some people don't know how to stop killing. Even though you say, oh, it's open season on bears, and then you cut that off, still going to be some motherfuckers that's been out there killing when it was legal to keep killing, because that's how motherfuckers are. And they'll do it all the way to damn near extinction of an animal. So what they do here in America, and it makes sense to do this, is to let creatures rebound, put stricter laws out there, game wardens stopping people so these animals can refuck and repopulate their numbers. Well, they've done that. Now we got wolf packs out there that are 20 deep. You know what I'm saying? They say there's certain areas in the wilderness down in the woods, even up in the northern California, where you see a bear every 15 fucking minutes. The fucking flag's got a grizzly on it, California. There is a flag that represents this state with a bear on it. So what does that tell you? That tells me that there's a shitload of bears in the state of California. Always have been, always will be. And the only reason why they're not in larger numbers is because when we settled this state, the Mexicans had it first. But when when this country settled that state, they killed off all them bears because them bears was fucking people up. The numbers dwindled down to damn near nothing. They killed all the buffalo. But see, I'll tell you why they did that. They killed all the buffalo to starve off the Indians. So you take away their ability to eat and maybe even use those hides for clothing or put them on those teepees for the winter months, you're going to freeze them people and starve them out. And they can't, and then their ability to wage war against you is nil. There's some pretty shrewd ass situations and things going on in this country. There's nothing wrong with America. It's just a certain few of fuckheads who will do weird ass shit just for the mighty dollar that'll fuck the rest of us. And a lot of those people, you'll never know who they are because they live in the shadows. And you hear all these fucking assholes in government talking about a shadow this and a shadow government that. Now they're even mentioning the shit that they already knew existed. They're trying to misdirect you. They're trying to use some fucking card tricks on your ass to think, oh, well, they're being very open. No, they're not being very open. They'll say the shadow government's on the other side when it is probably on their side. Motherfuckers is crazy. Politics, you can have that. But back to the Maui fires. I kind of went off of subject. It looked like a bomb went off on that island. I feel terribly bad and sad for all those families, the ones who live there especially. For those who don't know about Hawaii, it's one of the most expensive places in the world to live. It's very expensive. You know why? Food and all that stuff has to be flown into there. And remember, there are companies on Maui where you can buy, that make products and make groceries and stuff like that. But most of the stuff that they get is flown in from the mainland. And it costs money to do that. That's why the prices are like tripled there. Like if I go to the store here and buy 7 items and it's like $60, probably if I did the same thing in Hawaii, probably be damn near $100. It's just the way the economy works there, just because of where it is. If you're living on Maui or any of the big island, you probably got a couple bucks. Not necessarily rich, and there are poor people on that island. You better believe it. There's poor people getting food stamps, all that shit, just like here in the mainland. You know what I'm saying? And all the rest of the states. Hawaii's a state. You know what I'm saying? So they get all the colloquial. Federal programs just like any other state. The only other place that doesn't get that, that the U.S. like, they don't consider them a state, like Puerto Rico or I don't know if the U.S. Virgin Islands or the Bahamas I don't think we got the Bahamas, but then again, we may have the Bahamas, but those are just colonies of the U.S. They don't consider. Puerto Rico wants to be a state so they can be allowed to get all the federal funding that would be allowed to a state. And it kind of makes sense because, when things happen in Puerto Rico with hurricanes and things like that, we really don't help them. We'll send food and water and shit like that, but infrastructure suffers. Private companies and have to come out there and try to help the Puerto Rican government to recover, to get their lights back on and all these different things. So it's tough. So as far as Maui is concerned, America's going to come to bat for Maui. You hear it already, and what people are saying. The Rock just had an Instagram post where because he lives in Florida, he lives in Hawaii. That's where his gym, the Iron Paradise, at his house is located, and that's where you see him always working out and making his empowering videos to people to keep going and everything. You'll see him in the Iron Paradise working out on Instagram. I am one of his Instagram followers, so I kind of know that he does that. But I'm a real fan of The Rock. I think he's a cool dude. Shout out to him for, giving a shit about what's going on there, because he lives right there. And it's just weird how that happened. I don't even know how the fire even started. I still haven't gotten to the point where I know the origin of why that blaze was set, or it got set, to where it burned up a whole fucking island. The stories of people hanging in the ocean on rocks to get away from the flames, and some of their children being swept out to sea and all that. The most amazing stories I've ever heard. But there are people that went down there that are famous and giving things to folks and got their little camera time to say how much they care, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. You don't need to do all that. If you rich and them people need you, you can take your ass down there, or a representative down there, and let them know that this donor is finna give X, Y, and Z for these people to get back on their feet, to rebuild the whole areas. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Opinion, only my opinion, and it is how you say a conspiracy thought. I believe this is unprecedented. Nothing's ever happened like this on that island, like I mentioned. And I wouldn't put it past somebody, because it fucked around and probably was a middle-class neighborhood or a low middle-class neighborhood, and they burnt it all up just to it's perfect beachfront property, just to rebuild hotels. Somebody's gonna buy up all that shit, get them people some money to get the fuck on. They're gonna buy up all that burnt up shit and fucking put resorts. Watch what I say. Watch what the fuck I say. I'm telling you, I'm not saying that they had somebody set fire to that whole area. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, I guarantee you, the insurance, whatever, is going to pay them people whatever the little bullshit money they're going to give them for their life. They're going to go off and do whatever. I don't think those people are going to rebuild over there. No, I don't believe that for shit. Maybe a few, maybe, I don't know. But I guarantee you, though, that beachfront property turned into some kind of resorts or villas or something for somebody to make a ton of money on. Watch what I say. It's crazy ironic that something like this would happen. And you know insurance is going to give people hell to get their money for what just happened to them. But they'll get a few dollars and they'll go buy condoms. I don't know what they're going to do with their money. I'm assuming they're going to try to get another residence or whatever. But I'm going to tell you right now, that money or that property that's all burnt up and right next to the water and all that shit, it's going to turn into something money-making, I guarantee you. Godspeed and a prayer to all you people in Maui that suffered losses, damages, whatever. I can't say anything to make you feel better, but I'm gonna just say God bless y'all, God keep y'all, and I hope everything turns out okay for each and every one of you people out there and them kids too. Godspeed to every one of y'all. Last thing we're gonna talk about, with the last subject of the Corner Store P, is the first day of school for a lot of kids in the United States of America. Yes. Yeah. I know parents is rolling up blunts all over the place. I wouldn't be surprised if as soon as you drop them off, you just roll out all four of your windows and just start blowing one. Because the kids are fucking going to school. A lot of people say, when I say stuff like this about that, they be like, oh, them kids don't be gone that long. From like, what, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning to some of them 2, some of them 3. That ain't a lot of hours. Shit. You done had them kids all summer. You know goddamn well that school has started. When they ass be gone, unless you at work, your ass have got a little break. You can kind of chill and do what you need to do. The first day of school is popping. My significant said her G-daughter is going to school. I saw it online, the kids that start school. I see people on Instagram dropping their kids off to school. So I know it is a happy time for a lot of people because they feel like they're going to get a little taste of a break from having to deal with their crazy ass chilling. Let's keep it real. You know damn well you happy about that, man. Shit, my kids all grown now. My daughter, my last youngest child, about to start school at a university. So, you know, I couldn't be happier to see her do her thing. But she grown now. It ain't the same. It ain't like it used to be. You know what I mean? It ain't like it used to be where, you know, we getting them school clothes and all that stuff ready. She's very self-sufficient. Everybody doing their thing. And but shout out to all the parents out there. I know y'all asses is happy as all get out to have I know y'all happy as hell to have your kids. Well, I'm messing with my mic, I'm sorry. To have your kids going to school. So enjoy the time you're gonna have, enjoy the reprieve, and I'm with you all the way. And this is your boy OMD-300. This has been the Corner Store Podcast. I love y'all. I'm always be here for y'all. We on 5 days a week now, Monday through Friday. We got a guest coming in, so the show will be in the evening, probably around 8 or 9 o'clock. So tune in. And we also got a guest coming in on Thursday. We'll be back in the morning on Wednesday. This is your boy OMD-300, DexterDavis, and the Corner Store Podcast. And we're going to roll out of here with my new single, BYOB, right here on the Corner Store Podcast.
I'm trying to chill and relax and smoke on some bomb ass weed. Feel me? I'm trying to chill, trying to get it in. Chill with my day one ticket in. We trying to chill and relax and chill with some badass bitches. You feel me? I've been working all week, trying to decompress, trying to let it all go, trying to release some stress and smoke on some trees and chill with a fine ass. You feel me? Yeah. All I'm trying to do is just chill my friends. And next week, nigga, we gon' do it again. Niggas trying to get a W for the motherfucking win. You feel me? Yeah. We can get it in. BYOB.
Yeah, pull up, we can get it in. Pull up, BYOB.
I'm trying to smoke on some fucking trees.